Monday night, April 3rd.
You are listening to Weather with Enthusiasm.
The weather map is totally awesome here in the Midwest. I think about a year ago, it was exactly the same. So it has to do with the time of the year. One tends to forget how hot these temperatures can get. In the month, we're in early April right now. Temperatures are expected to go up into the 90s, the low 90s for portions of Kansas. We'll have to take a better look to see if those 90s can get further north. Widespread 80s in general. But the big thing over here, and this is something that is being overlooked because, there's constant postings being sent out about the tornado, severe thunderstorms, and all that. But meanwhile, there's a huge blizzard going on in the upper Midwest. Not just that, the temperatures are just bitter cold. In North Dakota, South Dakota, in general, the National Weather Service tells us this time of the year, the snow to water ratios are less than usual. But this time around, it's just so cold that doesn't seem to apply. We have blizzard warnings in effect for Bismarck, North Dakota. 8 to 18 inches of snow is expected. And if you look at the European computer model, you have to suspect that Rapid City, South Dakota would be getting something similar, perhaps even more. That's something that would need to be looked into. Also, the Black Hills, what about that? That's a place that, depending on the wind, the upslope area, you can easily get even more snow over there. We're hopefully going to take a look at all that later on in this podcast. But what's unique over here is not just how warm it is and how cold it is. We have two things coming together within very close proximity of each other, and realize it's not just that it's cold enough for snow, it's super cold. We have temperatures in Bismarck, North Dakota going down to 6 degrees. That's just a random city that I checked. So one could imagine what the lowest temperatures are. You could easily have temperatures dropping below zero. We're holding in April, and we're dealing with just within a few hundred miles of this intense heat of temperatures hitting 90 degrees, and that's forecast highs of 90. So you're going to have places which are going to get hotter than that. All these cities which have failed to make it into the 80s up until now, St. Louis, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee, Paducah, Kentucky, temperatures going into the 80s. The Paducah, Kentucky National Weather Service tells us very close to record heat is expected, and also high humidity is expected. This is for Tuesday, I believe. This is either Tuesday or Wednesday. This is for Tuesday. Tuesday night's also a real warm, humid night. This is summer weather taking place, and the summer is colliding with winter, probably with the most intensity we are ever going to see. It's this time of the year. We had something similar a year ago as well, and that snow really just piles up. When in the back side of the system, you have enormous amounts of moisture, and because of the time of the year that we're in right now. In regards to the severe weather outbreak, it's once again very intense, and I'm sure the news is focused on that everywhere because that's a life-threatening situation. Once again, you have basically the same area. It's western Illinois, Iowa, that seems to be in the highest severe weather risk. And we're going to come back to that in a second because I just saw something that just blows my mind. We go to Rapid City, South Dakota. I rarely see something in the middle of making a podcast, but blizzard warning remains in effect until 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. This is for Rapid City, South Dakota from the National Weather Service. This is blizzard conditions expected. Total snow accumulations, drum roll, please. 18 to 30 inches.
Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd.
Thank you, crowd, for that. That is Super stuff. You know, Bismarck, North Dakota, 8 to 18 inches. Total snow accumulations 18 to 30 inches along the foothills from Spearfish to Piedmont. 15 to 24 inches in the Rapid City area. A normal city, a real city, Rapid City, 15 to 24 inches. We've been seeing that number 24 earlier this winter. That's been a magic number. And 10 to 20 inches on the plains. Winds gusting as high as 55 miles per hour. Tuesday into Wednesday. This is for portions of northwestern, southwestern South Dakota, and northeast Wyoming. This includes the tribal lands of the Cheyenne River Reservation and the Pine Ridge Reservation. And this is in effect until 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time Wednesday. The National Weather Service tells us that travel could be very difficult to impossible. Widespread blowing snow could significantly reduce visibility. Strong winds could cause tree damage. And a blizzard warning means the combination of snow, blowing snow, and strong winds will create dangerous whiteout conditions. So road conditions are available on your smartphone from the 511 app for your state. Amazing stuff going on over there. Just unbelievable. We had something similar that happened a year ago, right around the same time. The following is the hazardous weather outlook issued by the National Weather Service at Rapid City, 10:24 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Monday, April 3rd. Or 11:24 a.m. Central Daylight Time, Monday, April 3rd. This hazardous weather outlook is for portions of western South Dakota and northeastern Wyoming. A major winter storm arrives late today and will continue into Wednesday. Very heavy snowfall and strong winds will create significant impacts across most of the area. Major winter storm will continue into Wednesday with very heavy snowfall and strong winds, which will create significant impacts across most of the area. So we're dealing with unbelievable stuff. We have also overnight lows dropping down into the lower teens Wednesday night for Rapid City, South Dakota, and temperatures go back up into the low 60s by the end of the week, by the beginning part of next week. You will now hear more about the snow that has already fallen and more about the cold. As of 8:36 p.m. this evening, places have already seen 8 to 12 inches of snow for portions of extreme far southwest South Dakota. But the highest precipitation rates are going to develop in northwest South Dakota and also south central South Dakota. So, well, we have really quite a storm, and the blizzard warning is in effect all the way through Wednesday, 6 p.m., despite the fact much of the snow is going to finish by Tuesday afternoon. There could be some light snow that continues after that. But that's because of the super strong winds, wind gusts to 60 miles per hour through Wednesday evening. Just really amazing stuff. And it's just cold. Highs in the low to mid 20s, temperatures dropping. We said Bismarck, North Dakota going down to 6 degrees. Very impressive stuff. And then within, we would have to check how many miles away do we see this 80-degree heat. And looking at it, it's just unbelievable. Nebraska, can you believe this? Tomorrow at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, the temperature is expected to be 88 degrees in the southwest tip of Nebraska. This is the European computer model. And the temperature is expected to be 19 degrees somewhere in northwest Nebraska. Not even the northwest tip. This is about 600 kilometers. These two places are 600 kilometers from each other, which is 370 miles from each other. I was trying to keep the temperatures within the same state because it sounds really cool. It could be, though, if we go out of state, we can get even a closer mile range. That's possible, but this is really, really intense stuff. You have temperatures, can you believe, 88 degrees. That's just about 90 degrees. To have a 90-degree reading, you get that 90-degree reading, very media-friendly stuff. Teens in the northwest part of Nebraska, 90s in the southeast. This is super exciting stuff, and we need to hear it from the crowd. Thank you. Holy cow. Holy cow.
Listen to the crowd.
Thank you, crowd. So this is phenomenal stuff that's going on. This is April. It happened last year too. So very, very intense stuff. And then we have this place called Little Eagle, South Dakota, where the temperature is going to drop down to 1 degree Fahrenheit by 7 a.m. Thursday morning. So that's really when the peak is going to be. Most places will be in the teens around there, but we pointed out that Bismarck, North Dakota, going down to 6 degrees, and this area going down to 1 degree. This is very impressive stuff. We will now talk about the heat and humidity, which will be over the Midwest on Tuesday and Wednesday, and where it will be going on Thursday. Again, it's going to the East Coast on Thursday. Heat and humidity moves off to the East Coast. On Thursday, we have dew points in the 60s along much of the East Coast. Of course, for Florida, that's no big deal. But really, the peak dew points, peak humidity will be occurring in the northern Delaware, around northeast Maryland, somewhere around there as dew points go into the upper 60s. This is totally unbelievable. I think that's deserving of a cheer, especially so far north. And Harry Carey, are you going to join us? I mean, come on.
Listen to the crowd.
Oh, that's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Listen to the crowd.
This is about 4 p.m. Thursday afternoon. We'll have temperatures in the lower or mid 80s, dew points in the mid or upper 60s. Baltimore, dew points mid 60s, highs low 80s, 83 degrees or so. Thunderstorms, that's for Thursday afternoon. Severe weather talk about the Midwest Tuesday night and Wednesday. In the Midwest, we're dealing with, here's the tricky part, it's going to be an overnight thunderstorm severe weather event. This for places like in Paducah, Kentucky, areas around there, and all across the Mississippi River. That's what we're dealing with, and initially, these things start off with a greater tornado potential, and as the night goes on, it turns into a greater damaging wind potential, and the tornadoes get weaker as the line develops into a squall line. Once the thunderstorms get better organized, as everything comes together, as the front comes together, there's less of a chance for tornadoes because there's less supercells. Those things, they need to be by themselves. Once they're connected to a whole bunch of other thunderstorms, that takes away from the chances of these tornadoes developing. In this case, even if there are tornadoes that develop, they're going to be weaker. That's what is expected to happen. There should be some tornadoes, but they would be weaker through the night. Because crowd, you're going to keep him let him just keep talking and talking about these tornadoes without any type of a response. I mean, come on. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. This is a night event. Even though the tornadoes are weaker, people are advised to make sure they have something that's going to wake them up, some type of an alarm. There's also apps. There's the Red Cross Tornado app. That's something that I've been told it works. I don't know, but it could work. And if a person's not able to get a hold of an alert, a weather alert radio, not just a weather radio, but a weather alert radio. The following is from the Storm Prediction Center, and we see a warm-up, possibly even 70 degrees in parts of the area by the weekend. Yes! Definitely phenomenal stuff going on this week. Thank you for listening. I wish everyone a wonderful night. Stay safe. Have a great week. Aren't we going to hear some thunder? We spoke about so much thunderstorms. That's Yes, we're about to get into something humorous, so a very cute little trailer, and I hope everyone's going to enjoy their week as temperatures get warmer and warmer. You've been listening to the podcast Weather with Enthusiasm.
The following is a 1-minute trailer for this podcast.
Following is a winter storm watch in effect from the Omaha, Nebraska National Weather Service. Several additional feet of snow is expected by Monday morning.
Out of the cloud.
Wow, the crowd loves it. Holy cow. People were reporting frost quakes. These are earthquake-like tremors.
We have a powerhouse typhoon which has developed off in the Pacific Ocean.
A big shockaroo to many of you. We have parts of the world that are so hot right now. Temperatures are expected to go into the low 130s. Recorded temperatures during heat bursts have reached well above 104 degrees. It's a rare atmospheric phenomenon. We're going from one extreme to the next extreme. Feet of snow are falling in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Just Google weather with enthusiasm and they're all gonna come up.
For thunder and for lightning and the rainbow in the sky. For mountains and
You make a bracha on these things. All those things are things you make a bracha on. In case you didn't hear, we make a bracha on thunder and on things like that. When you hear thunder, you make a bracha. Hey, thank you for listening. I hope everybody stays safe and have a wonderful day.